Hello, everybody out there. Jane Liebecker coming to you from Seattle, Washington. I'm a certified coach through the Eddie Via program, and I love to use the Gallup Strengths Assessment as one of my tools.
Hello, everyone. I am Minetta Fields joining you from Maryland. I too am an Eddie Via certified coach, and I love that tool that we use, the Gallup Strengths Assessment.
And our special guest today is Cassie Mueller. And Cassie, where are you coming to us from today?
Coming from Wisconsin, just outside of Milwaukee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Awesome. We haven't had anybody from Wisconsin.
there you go.
Yeah.
Unique in many ways.
Yeah.
So we wanted to start with the first question, which is, what is your dominant domain?
My dominant domain is relationship building. I have 5 relationship building.
Nice.
I have
Very
3
good.
strategic thinking too as a secondary domain, but relationship building is the top one.
Awesome. How did you learn about strengths?
So I learned about strengths years ago when doTERRA introduced it. I think back in 2018, and that's when I first took the test, and I've loved it since.
Awesome. And when you learned your strengths, how did that feel?
So it felt really good, and it was like, oh, it felt like it was really me. But it didn't really start clicking till a few years later when I came across Eddie and his program and being coached on it, that it all started to kind of click and truly feel like empowering, like I can use this in my life. And it, just changed how I saw myself and the other people in my life.
Yeah. So we're talking to you today about your strength responsibility. Where
Mm-hmm.
is that in your top 10?
It's number 7. And it's, one of the 2 executing strengths in my top 10.
Nice. So, for those that may not know what responsibility is according to Gallup, we're just going to read a brief description. So, people strong in the responsibility theme take psychological ownership of what they say they will do. They are committed to stable values such as honesty and loyalty. Does that resonate?
For sure. Yeah, it totally does. I mean, for me, just like as an example, when I'm working, I do freelance work with people or just, really anybody in my life. But like when I'm working on a project and we talk about something and say it needs to be done and I agree to do it by Friday, like it will be done. Even if I'm up until midnight the night before, like working on it or finishing something up, like if I commit to something, I will absolutely not give up on that or let anything come in its way.
There you go. So what are your number 1 and your number 5 strengths?
My number 1 is empathy, and my number 5 is developer.
Ah, those go well together.
Mm-hmm.
Nice, for sure. So you gave us an example or one example of how you use responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Um, does something else pop out in a different scenario that you like to share with those that are watching?
Yeah, so it's so interesting. I've been really thinking about responsibility for me because I feel like this is, as a dominant relationship builder, I think responsibility might be a little different than somebody who might have responsibility who's a dominant executor.
Mm.
Um, because for me, like where I feel responsible and committed, and it's with people, and it's not necessarily about tasks and processes, and it might result in tasks, but it's ultimately about the person. And so I have all these, like probably other people's responsibility. I have all these rules about about how people should be treated. Like I feel people should be treated with dignity and respect, and they should be heard, and they should be understood and validated. And so when those things aren't happening, well, that's how I approach the world, right? But when those things aren't happening, that's when I feel the need to step in or to speak up, which is all we, as we've also learned, a delicate balance of like staying in your own lane in your own business when you do that stuff. But that's where like I really feel that urge and that sparked.
That responsibility.
Right. To do something. Yeah.
Yeah. How do you think that your empathy and your developer interact with your responsibility?
Yeah. So I have this great like desire, or I have all these rules of like how I think people should be treated. And so when I approach my kids or the people at work, a lot of the things I do at work is writing communications for an audience that's going to receive them. So I always think things should be written or said in a way that gets the desired reaction from the audience. So that's to me like the empathy coming in, right? I'm like sensing. I can often sense how people are going to feel by the way something is said or written.
Yeah.
I know I'm probably not always right about that, but that definitely plays into how I approach and how I think things should be done.
So and developer?
And same with developer. Like if I sense somebody who needs help, like I want to be there to help somebody improve a situation, improve their life, improve their happiness, their skills. Like if somebody needs help, I am there, and I will put that on my calendar, and I will not reschedule. I will not cancel it. And vice versa. That's something that really bothers me, is when people do that to me. Like if we set an appointment because I needed help or I had a play date and I was looking forward to it, and somebody flakes out or cancels on me, that really bothers me. So
yeah. So what do you like about responsibility?
Well, it just fits in with some of my core values. Like I think that people should do what they say they're going to do. And I think that is something people admire and respect in me. And that's something I like to think I could expect from other people as well.
Okay.
I think it helps create like loyalty and trust.
And I like that. Yeah. What would you say to someone who is considering taking the Gallup Strengths Assessment, but just is sitting on the fence about doing it, hasn't done it yet?
Well, just that they absolutely should, because this strengths assessment is like a lifelong tool and roadmap of how to be successful, how to understand yourself better, love yourself better, and better be able to interact with the world and the people around you. So I think it's invaluable.
Well said.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Cassie.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I hope this was helpful for you guys and for everybody listening.
For sure. We're hoping people hear you talking about this and relate to it.
Yeah.
No?
Thank you again. We appreciate you being here.
Yeah, we do. Thanks, Cassie.
Mm-hmm.